What's up, everybody? In this video, you're going to see my mouth moving. I didn't have the mic on. So I'm just going to do a voiceover. Try to ignore me moving my lips because it's not going to line up. I don't remember what I said while I was doing it. So let's just get into this. Planting some fall crops. I've never done fall crops before. This is my first time trying it. So I'm just going to see how it goes. Now, I know in this part of the video, I was talking about my tomato plants and how I harvest them because I did a video on planting them earlier in the season. So I'm go out every other day and I like to pick them at the first color. As soon as you start to see a little bit of red inside the green of the tomato, pick it. And then I'll take it inside, put it into like a jar. But let it breathe, have some air ventilation holes because the tomato is going to give off gas, and the gas is what helps it ripen. But if there's too much gas, it can also be an issue. So I probably get 5 to 10 tomatoes each harvest, which is about every other day. It's too many tomatoes for me. Next year I don't think I'm going to plant 4 tomato plants. I only did 4 because if one died off, I had 3 backups. But they all survived the entire season, so I feel pretty good about that. Now, today I'm going to be planting 4 different seeds. The first one in the first bin that you see me planting is going to be the cauliflower, then the broccoli, and then the spinach. Now, I'm only saying this way I can go back in the video and see which one I planted in which order because I'm not going to remember tomorrow where they were if I didn't tell you here now. So you have a few different options when it comes to seed starting mix. You can either buy it in the bag, which I'm showing you, or this brick. Now the brick is the same material, it's just compressed and dried out. The brick is a little cheaper, so in my opinion, I think that just makes the most sense. Now you see me reading the back of the brick just to see how much water it calls for, but I kind of just eyeball. It says 4.5 quarts. I just put enough water in until the soil is wet. I also am going to mix it in with some other things so you get a little moisture from all the other things I add in as well. Now, when you add water to this brick, it's going to expand probably 3 times the size of the brick. That's why I put my hand there, just so you could see the size of it now and then what it's going to expand into in a minute or so when I add the water. So I'm mixing my soil together in this bin, which I got from Home Depot for storage. I have them all in my garage. This one was empty, so I just grabbed it. Now, I only put a little bit of water in at first because, again, don't know how much water was in that 5-gallon bucket that I filled up. So I just added as I needed. Now, once I seen that the brick wasn't expanding anymore, I decided to add a little more water. Now, what you see me mixing is in Miracle-Gro. It's called Spring Ahead for vegetables. Even though it's a fall crop, it just helps the seedlings grow a little bit faster and gives them all the proper nutrients that it needs. The last thing I like to mix into my seed starting mix, if you want to call it that, is called Black Cow. Now, I get this from Home Depot. You can use other brands and types, whatever you'd like. It's just a manure. Now, it's not pure crap, but it's a compost. You can use mushroom compost, whatever you'd like, or whatever you can find in your area. Now you can see me using a stake just to try and break that brick up a little bit. Because it's compressed, it's pretty hard. So as it starts to hydrate, break it up and it'll soften up and start to fall in together. Now, after I add the rest of the water in that I had in that bucket, I decided to go throw some gloves on just because I didn't want all the compost and dirt under my fingernails or anything like that. Now, while I was in the garage getting the gloves, I seen my humidor and said, hey, I hadn't smoked a cigar in a while, so I grabbed the factory smoke. Now, the first house I ever bought, the owner that I got it from lived 2 doors away. anytime he's seen me outside working in the yard or anything like that, he'd throw me a cigar and say, "Hey, here's a yard gun." Now at the time I didn't know what it meant, and I just said, "Hey, what the hell is a yard gun?" And he's like, "Cigar you smoke around in the yard while you're working. If you drop it, it's fine because it's only a cheap little cigar." That's why I think these factory smokes are the best cigar for day-to-day smoking. Last piece of advice while smoking a cigar and working: always keep one hand clean. So you'll see the left hand stays with the cigar in it. I don't go back and forth because I don't want to be smoking the cow crap. That's about it. Let's get back to the planting of the vegetables. Now these cardboard ice cube tray looking things are what I like to start my seeds. Main reason for that is they're biodegradable. So once I get a seedling starts to grow, I can use a pair of scissors or a knife or something, cut out whichever ones I want, and either move to a larger pot or plant directly into the ground. And over time, they'll decompose. When I get further in and get the bigger seedlings starting, I'll show you how to cut the bottoms of them. This way the roots can grow through faster. Now the roots will eventually grow through that cardboard if you allow them to, but when you cut them, it lets it grow a little faster. Get your seed mix all put into these as level as you think is proper. And then what you're going to do is use something. I just used a pick that I used to broke it up. Put little holes in the center of each one, about a half-inch deep. Try not to go too deep because then you're restricting the growth of it. It's not a huge deal if you do, but if you keep closer to the surface, it'll grow a little faster. Now put the seeds in. I recommend 2 to 3 seeds per little pod. This way if one seed doesn't start to grow, maybe the next will. You can always separate them later down the road. If one's growing more than the other, you can just pull the one out that's not growing too much. This way all the energy is focused into the one that is growing. Now this is where I like to have the bag mixture, just a lighter material. You put it on top. Now you could fold over the dirt that I mixed together and it will grow. But using a lighter material on the top will allow the seed to grow faster and with less restriction. Now I moved the camera because I want to talk about my sunflowers in the corner here. Now these are the best results I ever had while growing sunflowers. I'm about a 6'2", 6'3" man, so you can see they're probably around 8 foot to 10 foot tall. Now, one of the things I've talked about, but I didn't capture because the microphone wasn't on, is harvesting the seed from the sunflower. This way I can regrow basically the same flower. So taking seeds from one flower, breaking them down, and drying them out for next year so when I replant them, they'll grow. Now, I don't know how to do that. If anybody here watching does, please leave a comment, or if you have a video yourself of you doing it, please tag it and I'll be able to check it out. As always, thank you guys for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe. Like I said, this is my first year ever doing crops like this, so I am definitely learning a lot. I like to share the little things that I have learned. So yeah, thanks. The only thing left to do here is to water these seeds. You'll see in a minute I turn on my automatic sprinkler, which is set up on a timer, so I don't have to worry about it every day. I'm going to leave them right here on this table so they have plenty of sunlight, and the timer will take care of the watering, so I don't have to.